extremely busy right now. Try to organize your time around the salah right now. Organize your time around the salah. It's a schedule, preset schedule that came from Allah Azza wa Jal. And it is preset according to daylight, which is, as you know, it's, you know, if you studied about rhythms and circadian rhythm of us, of humans, it's perfect. You know, I wish I can go to work earlier, but I am the one who dropped the kids at school. But I wish I can go to work earlier, because now I can feel how much work I can get done. I am putting 10 hours a day at work, and on the weekends also I put in at least 5 hours. So I'm easily putting about 70 hours a week at work. Yet I don't think I'm doing enough. But somebody told me, Ahmed, go home. Work will never get done. Work is never going to get done. You guys are going to get done soon. Some of you will graduate soon, right? Who's graduating this year? MashaAllah. Well, here comes the next big hurdle. What are you going to do after you graduate? Dream big. Economy is bad. I know. Keep, you know, don't wait until the last minute. I'm assuming that you're sending your resumes out and CVs everywhere, right? No. Applications for medical school? Okay. Any comments, questions? What do you think? How are you going to do it? Teach me something. What do you do that makes a difference in your life, in your time? What inspires you to get up in the morning and go to school and perform well? Aside from the fact that I need to get this thing and put it on the wall. Meaning the certificate. Or my mom will be happy. Come on. Sure.
I think something that I've struggled with this year, especially, is like I'm always telling myself that I'm so busy, I don't have time for anything, I don't have time for anybody. I'll pray myself out, I'll do my research, I'll do my classes, I'll go home and like I'll spend those 30 minutes with my parents eating dinner. You know what? There's schedule, like in my mind there's a schedule, even if it's not right now. But I just keep telling myself like I'm so busy. I have to set a specific time that like I'm talking to my friends, and my concern with that became like I literally felt unhappy, where I was just like, why am I telling myself that I'm so busy? I'm not fully involving myself in any activity to feel it anymore. I felt like I was going to research, I was going to class, but I wasn't learning anything. I was just sitting there to be there. And so, like, I know with the conversation, with the things that you were saying, you know, that we are so busy, and like there is so much going on in all of our lives. How do you, and obviously we have to take our breaks periodically. How do you recommend that we stay, when we do something, we do it fully?
So you're talking about the classical burnout system. You burn out. That's it. You're going to research, you're going to class, you're just going in here and out here. You're not in there fully. And this is exactly why Rasulullah says, you have your rights upon your own body and your family. Let me start with the very specific word that you said, I am busy, I am busy, I am busy. So, does anybody know somebody named Tony Robbins? Tony Robbins is a big motivational speaker. He's a success story. He's an entrepreneur. You know, he's the entrepreneur of entrepreneurs. And I was reading this thing about how to become successful, and he says there are three key important things. And the first thing he talked about, and he talks about it for a while, you know, and I was skimming, so I only just got a few points of it, is strategy. So, for instance, I know, now, okay, so, I am by training a medical technologist. Okay, so I work in a medical lab. In a medical lab, a lot of times when you're working, half of your staff has to go to lunch. And I work second shift, between 3 to 11 o'clock, so we're short-staffed to begin with. Yet the hospital continues working, right? So you don't have the routine checkups every day, but the hospital is coming down, and then, you know, we were in a trauma center, so we're always busy. But at one point, there got to be like 2 people running the entire lab, and this is really bad. It can be extremely busy, which means I have to answer the phones, I have to receive the samples, I have to prepare the samples, I have to run the tests in chemistry, in the blood bank, in hematology, in body fluid analysis. Please leave. Oh, okay. And I learned to multitask. Okay, I learned to multitask. That I have to do this thing while this thing is going on, while that thing is going on, all at the same time. I start working at Abbott Labs, which is really like a country club. And they say, never multitask. So, never multitask. That doesn't work. Life is multitask. You know, I have to pick up the kids while I'm driving, doing this, while I'm doing that. It is. Life is a multitask. So the problem then, the ideas then came from this guy. What I figured out, and this guy basically put it in words, you have to find the right strategy that works specifically for you to maximize the work in the smallest amount of time. Not cheating, shortcuts. Shortcuts. You have to find shortcuts that gives you the same results, that gives you efficient results, but at the same time, in shortest time, so that you can have other things that you can do. This basically means in my work that I can run and stagger experiments. Specifically, that I know this experiment is going to take 3 hours of incubation. This thing only takes 10 minutes of incubation, and I have to repeat it 10 times. So definitely I'm going to start this one, and then I'm going to do this. Okay? Why am I doing that? So that I can leave on time. So what you're saying is, between all of these things, when I get done at the end of it, the day is done. Just because at the end you'll have half an hour to talk with your parents. That means, how many hours do you take? Classes? 15. 15 hours is not a lot. Well, it is a lot, but it shouldn't take, if you're waking up from 8 o'clock and finally sit with your parents another, let's say at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock, it shouldn't take almost your entire day. It shouldn't take 16 hours of your day. Because otherwise, you should be graduated like 5 years ago. So that means there is a lag somewhere where you're not being efficient. And that, where your schedule, documenting backward what you've done, you go, okay, well, I see that I'm actually spending this extra time in here. Maybe I should cut this down, or maybe I should combine it with this, or maybe I should do something else. While I'm doing my research and incubating something, I should read the whatever. I'm sure probably you're doing that. But when you do the documentation, it might show you little few gaps here and there. But you shouldn't be doing this. One. Second thing, sometimes work will never get done. Always, work is never getting done. You're just going to have to say everything. I'm going to put it on hold. Mom, Dad, how are you? I've got nothing today. Should we go out, walk around? Let's go visit so-and-so, or whatever. I actually appreciate a day where I just sit home and do nothing. You know what I did yesterday? As soon as I got home, I left early. I left at 5:30 so that I can do one thing. So I can go home and cook this massive 2 lobsters and a huge crab that my father-in-law got. Here, cook this. I did sneak in a little bit of time online at work so I can find all the different lobster and crab recipes. But I did. I went home and I cooked a massive meal. And by the end of the day, I was exhausted because after I cooked this, obviously I created the massive mess that I create when I'm cooking. I had to clean everything. By 10 o'clock, I'm laying on the couch. I was like, oh my God, this is such a long day. But you know what? I was very content and happy. The kids had a good meal. My father-in-law enjoyed it. My wife laughed at me, and it was perfect. That's it. So also, that means you have to have that content here. You have to be relaxed here. So this is not happening. And this is what this guy said. Change your strategy, you change your results. If you find, and one of the examples he said there's hundreds of weight loss programs. Yet America has the highest population of obesity and rising. There's a health club on every corner. No effect. Why? People don't know how to do the strategy correctly. They don't know how to approach things correctly. When I used to work out and go work out, I'm in and out of the gym in 45 minutes. You have people going in there, talking, walking, how are you doing? Hey, how about we go together, work out, and you sit there and talk the whole time while you stand next to the weights. Well, that's bad. I hate working out with anybody. I go in, 45 minutes, I'm out. So, change your strategy, you change your results. Change your story. The more you tell yourself, I'm so busy, I'm so busy, I'm so busy, you'll remain there. Change your story, and this guy says, change your life. Because these people, he says, continue the same way thing. I'm big boned. My genetics, I have a genetic predisposition. I have this, I have that. Excuses, excuses, excuses. You know what I say? Thank you. That just popped in my head. I always say this. Sorry about the 2 minutes. I always say this. Every time I say I am very busy, Allah makes it so that I'm even busier before the time I said that. Since graduate school, I've been getting nothing but busier. And guess what? I finally learned the lesson. I'm very busy? No, not at all. I got nothing to do. Okay? And finally, change your state of mind. Change your state. You change everything. And changing that state is changing that physiology. It's getting up and doing something. And subhanAllah, after I read this, and my wife sent me that other thing, and that's why I started with the other thing, because I wanted to combine this with it. Change your strategy, fine. Change your this, story, fine. But change your state, physiology, and you change your life. He says that. He says change your strategy, change your results. Change your story, you change your life. Change your state, you change it all. You want to change your state? You want to change your physiology? Do wudu the right way, do salah the right way. You change it all. Jazakumullah khair, thank you very much. I can talk. Yeah, the 2 minutes, if anybody wants to talk after that, but that's it. We're done. Merci.
Alright, Jazakallah khair, Brother Ahmed. We definitely benefit from your knowledge, and we always enjoy your talks. Inshallah, you can come back before you leave. Jazakallah khair to all of you guys for taking time out of your busy studying schedules. Inshallah, you guys all do well on your finals. Good luck studying. Couple announcements before you guys go. Friday is the bag lunch event here on the 14th floor at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then, obviously, as every week, there's Jummah at 1:40 and then 2:40, inshallah. And Professor Nisanzi's class is right now in Mandela room 621, so grab some refreshments and go straight there. And inshallah, you guys...
It's not 1:40, it's 12:40, 1:40.
Oh, just kidding. 12:40 and 1:40. I'm still on the other time zone. But yeah, okay. All right.